I'm just gonna say this. We all know how much lighting affects me. I really get irritated when it's not good. So during the filming, there's gonna be like shadows on my face. So I just want to see something, because I know that if I do this and it ends up being better, I'm gonna be upset. Great. That's just so great. I'm not doing the last 20 minutes over again. I can't be bothered. But the lighting is so much better. Why? Why, lighting? Why have you cursed me? Cool. Look how much better it is just because I put that down. You really busted my body. I really underestimate how much lighting affects me. I'm doing it all over again. Not all of it, but let's be honest, all of it. Wasn't that great anyway. She's back. Second time's a charm. Guess who's back, 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 back again. Shady's back, back, back. What? Who said that? I don't believe this. That's ridiculous. Oh, stop. I bet this really confused you. I bet this really like, ooh, yeah. I bet you don't know what I'm saying. Who's speaking? Who's speaking? I'm pretty talented. It's not a hard one to figure out. Okay, but I'm back. Yay. Done. 3 months of traveling. Done. Finished. I am so exhausted. I sound so ungrateful. Everyone's always like, how was it? And I'm like, it was wonderful. It was an experience of a lifetime. Oh my goodness. Then I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't want to travel anymore. It's just, it was a trip that was literally to see and do everything that I possibly could. And I did. And I did it with my mother. And I couldn't imagine a better person to travel with, because we're the same. We're same, but different. For those of you that know my mother and I, together, it's like, we are the same person. That kind of came off really wrong. But we are the same person. Wake up early in the morning, go to bed late at night, still don't have a problem getting up the next morning, see everything. For example, we went to Bath. We did a day trip in Bath. We did a day trip to a couple of places, and one of the stop-offs was Bath. And the guy was like, you know, we've got an hour's break, so just walk around Bath, get yourself a coffee, lovely. And Mum and I were like, what? We're in Bath? Northanger Abbey, if that taught me anything, it's that the Roman baths are spectacular. So I was like, my mum leaned over to me and she's like, Jessica, the Roman baths are here. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so we went down and we lined up and we like attached ourselves to this other tour group, and people were looking at us and I was like, Mum, this isn't the one. She was like, oh, let's get out of here. So we left. But yeah, so the people were like, you know, it takes 1.5 hours to probably do a proper run through of the bath, of the Roman baths. You've got an audio guide, but you know, it's quite a lengthy process. How long do you have? Mum and I were like, please, you know, this was the end of our trip. London was our last, like, a final destination. Mum and I, we've done this many times. We got this. Just give us the audio guide. And we ran through the Roman baths. And we were like, you know what? We saw it. I took some film. I took some photos just in case I didn't see quite everything. Like, I'm literally walking around like this. Mum's like, look at that. I'm like, wow! I'm like taking photos of it. So that was good. But this is what it became. The traveling became literally fitting as much as we could into the day. Like, we went to Stratford-upon-Avon. I think that was on the same day. I can't be sure. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, we went there, and the lady was like, you know, and nearby there's a church where Shakespeare's buried. And obviously you go to Stratford-upon-Avon to see his house, to see where Shakespeare's born, where he grew up, where he was inspired, all that. Which was wonderful, by the way. But she didn't mention where the church was. So we were like, okay, well, let's just see his house. And I wonder, you know, we don't have much time, so I don't think we'll be able to get to the church. Meanwhile, we're driving out. The hour was finished, however long we had in Stratford was done. We had some lunch. We went and did some shopping. And we went back on the bus. And the lady goes, like 2 minutes after we pull out of the car park, she's like, and that's the church where Shakespeare's buried. Mum and I were like, you know, that's something that you mentioned before we get off the bus so that we can, you know, plan ourselves. Like, they weren't very good at sort of saying there's also this to do, there's that to do, you can be here, you can go there. So we were just kind of aimlessly walking around. And a lot of the people on these kind of short tours are really happy to just sit down and have a coffee. No. We're there once, we're doing it all. So that was a real bummer. I was really irritated that we missed the grave of Shakespeare, because I haven't seen enough graves in Europe. If you asked me how many graves and tombs that I've seen, I could respond by saying that I'm now a grave digger, basically. Because I have never... churches filled with them. Galileo, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, who else? Mozart, did I say Mozart there? I don't know. Haydn, Chopin, Napoleon, King Henry VIII and Jane Seymour. I died. I was like, oh my gosh. Now, for anyone who knows me well, I am a massive history buff. I love history. It's my thing. History regarding England and like the Tudors, or, you know, the Windsors and the Romanovs, because they're sort of intertwined. That's for another day. That is my passion in life. I live for that. So I was in my element. Like, I was just standing there just like, and people were like, wow, isn't this fascinating? And I'm like, that's fascinating. Thank you for the history. Like, I'm talking to a grave and I'm like taking a photo of it and I'm like, I don't want to leave. And then there was Elizabeth I in another church and I was like Northanger Abbey, just a shrine to people. Literally just graves, tombs everywhere. So, did I say Northanger Abbey or Westminster Abbey? I meant Westminster in case I said Northanger. Northanger Abbey is a book, a fabulous book by Jane Austen. You should read it. It's very romantic, in the sense of like romantic, not like, oh, love. I mean, it is, but it's more like, oh, gothic. You're welcome for that little plug. But yeah, I saw Elizabeth I's grave as well, like her tomb as well. It is beyond my understanding how much of an effect this has on me. Like, I was on top of mountains, and I was on top of, you know, towers and monuments and museums, and I'm seeing original paintings by, you know, Monet, and that was incredible. And God, I can't even, Da Vinci and Michelangelo, and statue of David's in front of me. He's actually quite tall. I wasn't expecting him to be as big as he was. Oh my God, so many people are gonna be watching this. But yeah, huge, like just massive things. And I just distracted myself. I don't even know what I was saying. Tombs are amazing. Tombs are amazing. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, really incredible. Speaking of incredible and Napoleons, I think that if you're a Napoleon enthusiast, please come to me, because I have an itinerary that mainly my mother and I sorted out, which basically follows the life of Napoleon. And I give you this example to prove it. We started in Milan, and we went into the Duomo, and we did a tour of the Duomo, which is so fantastic. Can I just point out that if you're ever going to go to like little, like the Louvre, or to like a specific church or a monument or something, do a tour of it, because they actually give you so much information. Like, we were walking in one of the churches and they were like, and if you look there, they're the relics of such and such. But there was no sign in front of it. You would just have to have basic knowledge. Like, you'd have to have a book in hand. And if you're running out of time, which we often were, because we needed to get everything done in, you know, an hour, it was a really good idea. So I really recommend that. But yeah, so we started in the Duomo, and the lady on the tour was like, and the Duomo is actually where Napoleon crowned himself, the emperor. And Mum and I were like, well, isn't that fascinating? Like, you just, we know Napoleon, not Napoleon Dynamite. We know Napoleon's story, you know. And then we ended our trip of Europe. Like, we went through Italy, Central and Eastern Europe, London, Paris. Yeah, that was mainly what we did. Lots of countries in between. But we ended, our final destination was London. and we stayed in Waterloo. Now, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender, says our faithful friends ABBA. So we really followed the path of Napoleon, from the crowning of himself as an emperor. Then we got to Paris and we saw his grave, like his tomb. We saw him where he was buried in the church. And then we literally went to... Oh, I suppose we should have done London first then, because he surrendered there and then he died. And he would have died in Paris. No, wait, when did he die? He lost the battle. Do you know, I have so many facts in my head about who was what and what was going on that I don't even remember anymore. It's really hard. Also, another little travel tip. If you're traveling, write stuff down every day. I started writing things down in my phone because I'm very fussy with the way I write, says the writer. So I like to write things, you know, poetically. So you can't really be like, day 1, the autumn breeze is blowing and blah, blah, blah. You don't have time for that. So I was writing notes and I was like, if something would inspire me on the street, I'd quickly write a note and jot it down. And then I'd go back and try to write in my diary. But then, let's be honest, 11:30 at night, I was like, screw that. And I like fell asleep, knocked out cold. But lots of stuff to write about. So write about daily, including facts. Like there was one lady who was like on this little tour that we did at the Louvre, and she's like taking notes and she's like, oh, this painting. Whereas I'm just there with my camera and I'm like, ugh. And then trying to take a photo of like a little square thing, which is fine, like it works. You take a photo of that square thing, just the artist, the year, etc. But there's just so much information to recount. It's too hard. I hate it. I try and buy books wherever I go, and then they weigh the luggage, and you know, that's ridiculous. Luggage limits. I love the trains in Europe. Shaman. I love the trains in Europe because you can carry as much luggage as you want at whatever weight. And I respect that. As a female, as a young girl visiting Europe for the first time, who quite likes, you know, souvenirs and nice, you know, things specific to that country or that city or that town, I have a lot of weight accumulated throughout my journeys. So it's very harsh to say that if you're going to fly with someone, you can only take 15 kilos. 15 kilos. 15 kilos of what? My clothes don't even weigh 15 kilos. They weigh a lot more. I don't know what 15 kilos is. I've got shoes, I've got clothes, I've got hair stuff. You know, it's very hard. It's very hard. And we were 2 girls traveling, and my suitcase, like, it's massive. So obviously I'm like, fill it up. I've got plenty of space. So that was one of the worst parts. We spent most of our time going through airports when we had to get a plane, like batting our eyes at the guy at the gate, and we were like, what? 20 kilos? Oh, but I thought it was 25. Like humiliating stuff just to get in. And this one guy was like, you better hope that I'm at the gate because I'll just let you through, but someone else won't. And I was like, God, please let it be the guy. Please let it be the guy. And he was there and I was like, hey. And he was like, hey, go through. And I was like, all right, I see what you've done there. And he was like, what? And I was like, what? Never mind. I like ran through and I was like, he doesn't remember? But yeah, hilarious. In terms of transport, actually, one of the most fascinating things I found when traveling is that Italian train system is rubbish. And the people at the train stations are awful. Mum yelled at someone because he kept trying to offer to take her bags. And she was like, I said no, I don't want you to take my bag. Vai via, you know, like get lost. And they're really rough in Italy. Like they try and sell you things, they try and take your bags, they try and, you know, you gotta really watch out. But the train system in like Central Europe and London, the underground, in love. Just fabulous. So efficient. I love efficiency. I love organization and efficiency. And I like the people because they were really helpful. Maybe it's because in London I'm an English speaker, so I was very confident you know, I'm usually okay talking to people, but in London it's okay to be like, hey, we need to get here by this time. You know, and they're going to be like, no worries, get on this, 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 and this. And I can understand them, so I'm not wasting time. Whereas in another country, they speak English, and we didn't have any problems with anyone. People were really polite. And Even in France, everyone says the French are arrogant. But we must have got a lucky bunch of people because they were lovely. But yeah, the underground system there and the people in London were really lovely. In terms of culture, I think it's one of my favourites because it's just so much like home. And I felt so comfortable there, and it was so nice to be able to speak English with English-speaking people. And that just sounds so uncultured, but after months and months of having to deal with foreign languages and limited English when they want to speak English, you start to remember how much English you've forgotten, and it's nice to hear it again. But yeah, food, Italian food. Where you lack in the train system, you gain in the food. Let me tell you, delicious, absolutely phenomenal. I ate everything and anything I possibly could. So were you to come up to me and say, hey Jess, have you had goulash? I'd say, matter of fact, I have. And that would be the end of that conversation. Unless, of course, you asked me how it was. And then I could tell you, well, in this place it was different. In this place it was good. And so on and so forth. But yeah, food is really interesting. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh no, I'm traveling, I must be careful. I'm like, I'm traveling, give me whatever you've got. Because I don't know when I'll be there again. And I think food is remember that English thing I was saying? I think food has a lot to do with culture. And if you're eating the food, you're experiencing the culture. So that's my excuse. At least that's what I tell myself. But yeah, another reason why I loved London so much is because London has a huge West End theatre. Just like, not theatre, they have multiple theatres. Down the road from where I was staying, Richard Armitage was in The Crucible by Arthur Miller. I was so upset because I wanted to get tickets, and she was like, the tickets are all sold out online, but if you come here, we can give you pretty dodgy seats in the top corner. And I was like, great! Just to hear him be able to speak the words is all I care about. But I didn't end up getting to go because you just don't have enough time. I'd say I'd stay in London for like a month. That's how much there is to do. And that's exaggerating realistically. But yeah, like, I'm just gonna say, I've been to churches, cathedrals, museums, monuments. I've climbed towers, mountains, like the tallest mountains in Salzburg and Innsbruck, and I've been to the Eagle's Nest just out of Salzburg where Hitler had his, you know, his eagle's nest. So wordy. I've done incredible things. Like, I've watched the clock tick in Prague. I've seen spectacular paintings and, you know, Leonardo da Vinci and all that sort of stuff. But the best thing about that trip, the absolute favourite, the be-all and end-all, was Les Miserables on West End. London's West End. Oh my gosh. The minute that first note here, it was like, dun dun, I was like, oh my god. Mom was like, Jessica, shush. And I was like, ah. Like, I'm emotional at the best of times, but this just really cuts in deep. So beautiful, and you're just in an environment where everybody loves it and everybody's getting into it, and Fontaine is just there and she's dying, and you're just like, I did not know that love could feel like this. It's just bizarre. I just blown away. Nothing compares. I went to the Moulin Rouge. That was phenomenal. That was hilarious. That was like a terrible 80s video clip. But you have to do it because it's, you know, it's the Moulin Rouge in Paris. But Les Mis, that was up there. I could not even. I can't tell you how much it meant to me. And that's saying a lot considering everything that I'd done. So yeah, that was really cool. What else? I don't know what else to say. There's so much stuff that we did, and there's so much stuff. Like, I have a million photos and a million videos, and I'm so daunted to go through all of them because there's just so much stuff to organize. But yeah, it's really interesting to know the legal systems in each country as well. Out of everything that I've done, that's what you want to hear about. Don't tell me about everything you saw on the sites. Tell us about the legality of the country. Well, I will. In London, top notch. in Austria and Germany, I felt very safe. In Italy, you know. But they're my paesani, so I can't really, you know, bag them out. Although the Italians feel free to all the time. Everywhere you go, they're like, the government, the government. And we're like, We ended the trip with a stay with our family in Castiglione in Sicily, which is where Mum's family's from. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Thank you if you're watching this and not understanding what I'm saying. But thank you. It was such an amazing experience. That was the highlight. After Les Mis. No, jokes, before Les Mis. But it was just incredible. Like lunch in the Campagna, you're immersed in love and family and culture, and it's just so overwhelming. And the town is tiny. I could probably do a loop of the town in 40 minutes just walking on foot. That's it. You reach the Castello, that's it. And Mount Etna is everywhere. Everywhere. Just gorgeous. So beautiful. I really loved it. Sicily's the greatest. But you know, us Sicilians, we say that because we mean it. But yeah. What else? I don't know what else. I've climbed a million stairs. St. Paul's Cathedral, Eiffel Tower. God, I don't even know what other stairs I've climbed. It's just Notre Dame. They were like, hey, you're gonna wait 2 hours in this queue and there's about 400 steps. Mum and I were like, we got this. Do not rain on our parade. We ate snails. I ate snails and oh. They taste like earth. I was like, some basil and some grass. I don't want any more. I was like, I can't do this. But it was cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's just bizarre. Oh, actually, celebrity sighting in Venice, saw Michael Caine. That was pretty cool. I think he saw me too, but I may have scared him or warned him, more like it, because I was like, Mum. And she's like, what? And I'm like, Michael Caine. She's like, Jessica, next time be a little more cool. And I was like, what are you talking about? Bizarre. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say too much because then there's nothing to talk about with people. Then people are like, hey, we already saw what you did in your vlog. And I'm like, oh, cool. Also, we'd be here for like 30 minutes. And I can see that I've already gone 20 minutes into this. So no one's going to want to watch that. But I will vlog every week from now, every 2 weeks, as I usually do. Feels good to be back, to get back into a routine of things. I like that I'm back and I can start, you know, getting into the norm of uni life again. What? I'm sorry, uni life? Yes, contrary to what most people believe, I still do study. I still attend, apparently not for a while, but I still attend university and study. So I got to start that again soon. And yeah, it feels weird that I'm going to be, I've been here for 8 months. Like, what the hell? And in 4 months, I'll be home. It's bizarre. It's weird. On the one hand, I'm kind of excited, but I'm also a bit afraid because Italy was always an excuse. You know, you were always like, oh yeah, I can't commit to a job at the moment because I'm going to Italy, so I can do little jobs. Or I can't commit to, you know, anything too grand because I'm going to Italy soon. So that's a year of my life that I'm going to have to put everything on hold. Whereas when I get back now, it's like settling into life, to real life. I don't have that Italy to look forward to and use as a sort of, as a backup sort of thing as to what I'm doing in life. So that'll be interesting. I mean, I still have uni when I go back home, but yeah, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, so that's it basically. Feel free to ask me, message me, chat to me about anything that I've mentioned or anything you want to know. I love talking about it. I don't know if you got that impression, but I do love talking. I'll never shut up. You can never silence me. But yeah. One more thing. Everywhere you go, you should sing. That's another traveler's tip. Always sing. For example, you walk into the Notre Dame, sing every song from Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because it makes it so great. It just makes it so much more worth it. If you walk into, you know, Salzburg, start singing I Have Confidence in Me, or start singing Do Re Mi or something. It just makes life that much more exciting. And you can be like, I sang it too. I was there and I sang it. It's something to remember. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. Alright. I redid this whole thing because I'm that obsessed with lighting. Somebody needs to help this girl. Yellow.